it's gonna be awkward.
I don't get it. You do the math.
Boom. What up?
We're back.
What
back
up
for another week.
gang?
What up,
Awkward
gang? What up?
dude.
What up, zoo animals? Welcome, new zoo animals. I feel like it's been a while since we've even called out for new animals. So welcome if you are a new listener.
Yeah.
Welcome if you've been a listener from the start.
Yeah, hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving.
Lots of food, hopefully. I didn't eat that much actually.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty tame Impala on Thanksgiving time. I don't know why.
We talked about it last time a little bit, just how like we feel about Thanksgiving, but I don't know. It's good. The food was good. It was fantastic food, what I ate, and
It's just the food in general, though.
yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I eat so much because, well, in our family, it's always been so big to have like the brunch.
Yeah.
So I'm always so excited for the brunch, and I
Yeah.
always go so all out at the brunch that like I could really just be good with that by the end of the day. I eat so much at that brunch, dude. I have 4 plates. Like what most people's Thanksgivings are,
Right.
that's my brunch for that.
Yeah. And that's usually taking place like at a pretty late time in the
11:30, 11:45. Like that brunch is pushing lunch.
right. So it's taking all of the unch
Mhm.
in brunch.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, so like then to do Thanksgiving dinner at 1:30, which is a popular time to do it. Not saying either of us had to deal with that, but just saying in general,
The
it
good
makes
news
it
with our family is
tough.
like we usually don't start things until like 4:35 is usually when we
at
start
least, and then
rallying.
there's usually fucking around, like
Yeah, like I didn't even get home until like 10:30. Like I was over there. So yeah, I was there for a minute, like 4:30 to 10:30. So yeah, I mean that's a night. I mean, so there's dessert. It's a good time. It's always fun, getting together.
yeah.
But I like the time off. I'll say this: I like the time off, but the time off always fucks me up, man. Because here I am back. So I was saying how last week,
So in
motivation
retrospect,
yeah, it ran from me, and but it never is. It's the stretch from now till Christmas that it's like, dude, I'm gonna have to just work really hard for a few weeks, and then they're gonna be like, oh, all right, time off, and then it's like, it's hard
stop and
too,
go. A lot of
because
stop and go.
there's no stop and go with this, except for
Right.
that like 3-week period that we're not doing a show every few months, and so like even though Thanksgiving was last week, it was on Thursday. Quiz. What day does an episode drop for any Weber Boys Entertainment show? Yes.
Thursday.
Thursdays. Thanksgiving was on a Thursday
Yeah, it is every year
every year.
since
And
the
now-
Pilgrims invented it.
And that's not what you think about, by the way, when you start a podcast.
What? Holidays?
Drop days. Like you don't think about holidays on drop days, and you don't think about like, you're like, all right, the best day to do it is on Thursday. And you're like, well, fuck, dude. Thanksgiving's on Thursday every year.
Well, it's just a good day for. I mean, we had a lot of people that enjoyed watching us. They tuned in after the parade, and instead
It was
of
a
the
little
dog-
late. We're
Yeah,
still working.
sure.
We're still working on the way that we used to do the pod. For those that are wondering why there's that little bit of delay, is we did do it a little differently before with the podcast, and fuck us because we actually were doing something better. But the problem with and then we were noticing this in Awkward MMA, but we were posting some stuff and we are like, holy shit, dude, what's with the quality? Why is it not in the 4K quality? YouTube takes forever sometimes to just upload the that 4K picture and quality, and sometimes it can take up to like 6 hours. So
Yeah, well, basically what they're doing is when you upload it, it goes to a bunch different servers
yeah,
at like all
That's what it
different
is.
levels. So like how you can select if there's standard definition, there's like all the way
there's
up
like
to
4,
the 4K.
yeah.
And
Like 320p up to 1080p.
so it just takes a long time. They've got YouTube has servers stashed all over the world, literally all over the world. And these files are having to go to all these different servers and then get uploaded and processed. So it does take a minute. And so what we need to do is keep it held under wraps, essentially, and just keep it private until we get the green light from YouTube saying that it's in 4K.
Yeah.
But like, it's just that's kind of a new thing also too. Like the whole deal with YouTube and how people upload, because the thing is 4K cameras are now like on everybody's phones too. Like,
Right.
So now you can video on your phone essentially in 4K, and then, you know, for your vlogs, if you're just a YouTube vlogger, which a lot of YouTubers are, and they're doing 15-20 minute videos on their phones.
And it really has to be in 4K too in today's day.
Yeah.
So
it's not a knock on anybody, but it's just the fact of 4K files are so big that
And
it
the
takes
servers
just a
can-
minute. Yeah.
yeah.
But
anyways, we're gonna start it. We're gonna start it just probably a little sooner if we can.
we're
We're gonna do our best to get it out as soon as possible every week.
we do our best. We do our best no matter what. We're not
Yeah, I
lollygag.
I know we're not. No, I know we're
popping
not.
each other's assholes.
I know we're not. But I'm just
what
saying.
we're doing
is
getting
now
shit
like
done.
we've figured out the issue, so now we can start to combat that issue
Yeah.
as best as we can.
Yeah. True. What's been going on, dude? We
What's
went
been
to a hockey
poppin'?
game.
Went to a hockey game. That was actually a good time.
That was fun.
It was fun because, except what wasn't fun was standing in line for food.
Oh yeah.
It took forever, man, because the way that they had it set up was that they had two lines.
Mm-hmm.
So the right line, we choose the right line because it was way shorter.
Yeah.
So we're in the right line. Justin saw a buddy of his from a distance in the other line.
Mm-hmm.
The buddy gets out of line, and we're still halfway through. And we're like, what the fuck? We were here before them.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, we get closer to the counter, and then we see that the staff that's helping our side is in cahoots with the other side helping them.
Yeah.
They're getting all their food.
So we're getting backdoored on.
And they're taking-
Yeah, we're getting.
They're taking orders on fucking vouchers
Yeah.
and then telling the other people.
Yep. So we're getting backdoored, you know, and they're just double timing the left lane.
I thought we were White Castle, dude.
Yeah, well, it felt like that, and
We missed the entire half of a period. We left in intermission too. Like intermission started.
I know, but my boy Dylan scored,
Yeah.
and it was a very nice goal, and so shout out to him. And the Sharks did beat the Yotes.
They did, unfortunately.
But all in all, it was fun, dude. My girl got to go, and we got to, you know, just
Have fun.
have fun, and watch the game.
It was third wheeling on that. That was a good time.
Yeah,
You know, and I don't third wheel often, and I don't mind it, to be honest.
It's liberating.
It's nice as
don't
long as I'm
mind it at
welcome
all.
around you guys. Like you guys invited me, right? So
For
I don't
sure.
have to feel weird. But if I
Yeah.
was like, if you guys are like, oh yeah, hey, we're gonna go to a Coyotes game, I'm like, oh dude, I've been wanting to go to a Coyotes game so bad. And you're like, I mean, fuck, do you want to go to the game with us? I mean,
Only if you want me to.
yeah, only if you want me to. That's how it feels though. Sometimes, like if you're third
Oh,
wheeling,
dude,
but if
nah.
you're on the other side of that though, and you get invited and you happen to take yourself up on a third wheeling date, it's not that bad. Quit complaining if you're single.
Yeah, dude, not it at all. It's honestly, it's the best.
I was chilling.
Yeah, it's great. But anyways, hockey is in a strange funk right now. The
It is.
NHL.
I haven't been following it whatsoever, but you've been
None?
I just
It's
see things
not-
pop. No, the problem is I haven't been watching games, and
It
it's the same
doesn't
way with
even matter.
I
dude.
know.
This isn't even about.
I know,
games.
but even still, like really to blame for all this is the Instagram algorithm because I only see so much that comes up
You
on my
just see your
feed.
world star ass.
I see world star asses, yes, but that's I don't know how that got there. Those are sponsored by World Star. I mean, and I follow World
And
Star.
Fashion Nova.
And they come up.
Yeah,
I don't,
dude,
but I stay away from fans only.
okay. I don't know. Actually, know what fans only is.
Or OnlyFans. That's what all their bios say. When you click on them, they all have like a link that says OnlyFans.
Yeah,
and it's like you
I
can
know
like
what you're
buy their
talking-
pictures or something.
Yeah, dude.
It's art. It's art, bro. Show some respect.
Well, it's not only art, but it's also pornography, which, in a weird statistic, dude,
I got a conversation today outside of this.
Out of like 300, I think it was 323 people that voted on this stupid ass fucking poll, but it was a millennial kid that posted it. And he says, "Do you think pornography should be illegal? Yes or no?" What do you think? What do you think, Z? Out of 323 people, how many people do you reckon would say that porn should be illegal? Out of 323.
Assuming you're doing it in a fair area.
Just anywhere.
Yeah.
How many out of 323 do you reckon are saying it should be illegal?
Well, I know the answer, but if I were guessing and not knowing the answer, would be, I would say maybe 5% would say
5%
illegal.
You think over 15? You think 20?
You could get 15 people to say porn's illegal just because, like, for instance, I've dated girls that are like completely fine with porn and think like you can watch that in a relationship and it doesn't mean anything. And I've dated girls that consider it cheating. So
same.
There's both sides of that spectrum. So
but that doesn't that doesn't
she wasn't
necessarily
a boomer, so
but that doesn't necessarily tie into legality and whether or not someone should go to prison.
It doesn't
for it.
No, it doesn't. But I 15 out of,
because that's what we're talking about here. Like if something's illegal,
sure,
and you do it.
Well, what's the number? Enough quizzing me. I gave you my fucking answer, dude.
Okay,
you don't have to.
I'm just saying it's about 27% of people.
Now that's ridiculous,
right?
Not my 5%. 13. You can get 13 people to fucking agree on anything, dude. You can get 13 people. I
was just giving you a hard time.
Yeah,
to that. I'm sorry, Z, but I wanted to illustrate how knucking futs the number of 24% are, and then I was reading some
porn
of the
stars
comments.
are having a hard time too.
Oh well, I'm sure because you've got all these World Star chicks, dude, all these Instagram models.
Well, yeah,
and they've got all their premium porno accounts, that people are willing to pay a monthly fee for.
Subscription, yeah.
And it's like, what happened?
Yeah, well, I mean, and if that's considered,
that has to
are
be.
they more so trying to illegalize it, or are they? Is the argument for viewership, or is it
the
more
argument
so
is that
for
it
the
destroys
creators?
the argument is that it destroys relationships and that it's
okay. Now, next question: what if you're single?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Now, and the other
people
thing,
making here's the problem: people making rules aren't single. They're these
I know
tight asses who are locked up in marriages that they don't want to be in.
They're pissed they can't go jacking off because their wife has a camera everywhere.
Dude, exactly.
They've just got all that chi pent up,
and that's it, dude. They've got a lot of pent up chi,
sexual tension,
and they're making these rules, not thinking logically. I mean, it's crazy, dude, to put someone in prison.
And instead of the wife having sex with the dude or the vice versa, they're just the opposite spouse is just going, could you believe this? What these fucking people are doing these days? And
it just is it's really an inconvenience to the state at a certain point.
Well, it's such a hard thing to manage. I mean,
financially,
then you're really opening up the dark web, though, because then now you're just asking for people to start fucking teeter-tottering.
Yeah, there's no way. First of all, there's no way to actually illegalize porn, but just to to pontificate
Well, the fact
what
that
the fuck
it's
they're
being
even
brought up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's just the
But-
fact that there's this separation of 24% of people who feel in their heart that they think that it is that somebody should tell someone how to live their life to the point to where like they can't do the oldest profession,
Yeah.
which is technically prostitution, but
Well, you're taking
porn and
people.
prostitution is the same
you're-
thing, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, you're taking people out of work is the thing, and I don't know, man. It's a weird thing
That's
to bring
painting
up
it pretty
because
broad, dude. I don't want to seem so insensitive by saying they're the same.
Yeah, they're
'cause
not at all.
There's differences, but you are having sex for money in a way. That's what I mean when I say that they're
Sure.
the same.
Okay.
That's how I can get by with the oldest profession thing. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a lazy way for me to say that.
Yeah, you're good. But I don't know. I mean, it's weird because I don't know. The argument that people make is that it creates a false reality. In men, or they've always said that in men, like a lot of women over the past few years that I've been, an adult, the argument is that it creates a false reality for relationships. But if you go and you look up, say, the big ass tag, big tits tag, and that's what you're into, So it's not necessarily setting a false reality. If anything, a romantic comedy is setting a more false reality for a relationship than you looking at the tag big titties. Just because you're looking at a girl with big tits, you're like, not every girl has boobs like that. Okay, but ones I'm into do.
And some do,
And girls can make that, and the other side too. And it's not only guys that watch porn. I do get that.
Yeah, a lot of girls are super fans.
It's
of
grown.
porn.
It's grown a lot. That's what I
think
heard
it's
today in my
probably
conversation.
more- I think it's probably more, girls than guys at this point. But anyways, enough about the porn talk, dude. We were talking about hockey, and that's what I wanted to bring you up to speed on, which is the fact that it's like the cancel culture has now crept its way into the hockey world, particularly in the NHL, and I don't know where it started, if it was Mike Babcock or the Senators coach, but basically what's going on is abuse from coaches and higher ups from teams is coming to light against players. And now with like these podcasts and these different things where basically these former players are having a platform to use to talk about their stories and shit. Like all these coaches are now under investigation and all this stuff for
what though? Like what are they under investigation for?
Just physical and verbal abuse. Like
You can get in trouble for verbal abuse?
yeah.
What is verbal abuse considered?
I think degrading to the point past productivity. Like there's definitely a point to where like
The only reason I'm asking is because I do come from the era of like sticks and stones don't break my bones, words never hurt me. So if someone just said something to me, I would just give them the old
bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's definitely, I think, lines to not cross about like when it comes to work ethic or discipline or something that like for these guys, these NHL players who have worked their entire life to get to where they're at and have put in a lot of work and dedication into their skill set and to the athletes that they've become, for a coach or someone that they respect or their boss essentially to shit on them and say, you are a piece of shit, you don't work hard, you fucking suck, you're fat, you're this, you're that. Like there was a story of I don't remember who, but they had to gain 30 pounds in the off season or something like that. And then he gained 30 pounds of pure muscle in the off season, comes back to camp, and the coach was like, I want to say this is Babcock, was like, you're too fat and slow. It's get the fucking weight off, basically. And then there were the Sutter brothers who had some issues with a team that they own in the WHL with some abuse and underage drinking issues. And so like there were statements about it like being known by the Sutters and by the league, and then they didn't do anything about it. And basically Dan Carcillo is leading that pitchfork march against them. And you know, like, it's really dividing the hockey world, and it's strange to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of happening everywhere. I didn't expect for it to like get into I thought like hockey would be like the last sport for it to come, but like it's just the thing right now. And I don't stand up for pieces of shit is the thing. So like I'm just the one saying like all the people that have been assholes their entire life, they're getting kind of what they get coming. You know, there's like when they say karma's a bitch, this is kind of what they're talking about, to where it's like you've been an asshole your entire life. Now you got to pay for it. I mean, fuck, someone's going to have to, because in this sport, it's such a rugged, you don't think of it even being a thing, but it depends what they're saying is the thing. Like, I get it because I'd be pissed because I know what it's like to work really hard at something.
But it's not even just that. Like, there's actual points of like pushing guys to the brink of them wanting to fight.
That's and then using your leverage, that's abuse for sure. Like and getting them to fight, and then like you can't touch me.
You get an animal so riled up because like at the end of the day, that a hockey player who's in that environment is conditioned to fuck people up. And if you get him riled up, you know, to that point, like he's just going to want to fight you. And then if you pull the old, well, I'm your coach or I'm your boss, you can't do that shit, then you know it's such an unfair move that just seems to happen too often at that high of a level. Like, there's better ways to go about getting good results and good production from your team.
Yeah,
you don't have to do personal attacks and fucking, you know, get people to the point of them wanting to beat the shit out of you to get a result.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I've never heard good, really, things about him specifically as a coach. That's more so what I refer to. But like, there's all this other stuff going on too that I don't, you know, I don't understand what the, or I guess I don't understand what's going, like, what's next, like where does it all go from here? So like, coaches are starting to lose their job and blah blah blah. But where does it now? It's kind of such a divided.
The idea of sports are so divided because you have like, I don't know that it's necessarily better to not have those types of people in the game.
That's what I'm saying, because
like, you do get a good product when you have a guy like that who's in charge of the team. Like, the teams win. Babcock's teams have always won.
Except Maple Leafs.
They fucking won, dude. They made it to the playoffs for like,
oh well.
I mean, they were playing way better than they had played in.
We can chalk that up, I guess, as
my whole lifetime.
Well, yeah, but
so
he's definitely he's definitely been the most winningest coach in my lifetime.
And then you had Don Cherry too, who got shit canned. Yeah. So I mean, it just all in all is
strange.
It's strange, and I don't know where it goes. Yeah, like, because as we were watching the game, it was like the first time after the week of everything in that had happened in hockey, and I'm like, dude, I just don't know. I'm kind of happy for the first time ever that I'm sitting on this side of the glass rather than wanting to be out there, because I just don't know where the future of the game is gonna be going. You know, or the future of sports in general. Like
and I feel that too all the time, like, not to, you know, bring this about me, but with MMA, it was like that a lot too, to where it was like, shit, dude, I don't really, especially like when that Reebok deal happened and everything like that and all that was coming about, it's like, dude, I'm 18. Do I really want to, is this like, what's going to happen from here? And then now I look at it and they've taken out they're slowly phasing out the pay-per-view model, and it's now all on ESPN Plus. So now, like, guys can't really fully be stars anymore. So they're having their own issues in a different way, to where it's like
what's
I'm kind of glad, man.
Like the people, I think a lot of people and businesses need to really chill out for a second and look at what they're doing and think, does this make sense? Does this seriously make sense moving forward? And is it sustainable?
Yeah.
Because that was the conversation we had about these podcasts and how to do them. And that's why we're doing them this way. But like that conversation was had when we realized, like, oh shit, dude, this isn't sustainable.
Well, yeah, because what a lot of people do is they
force it.
They see the trends, or they see what people are doing today. And it's like, this quote, obviously, all right, so this is a hockey quote that's very fucking good for real life. And that's by Mr. Wayne Gretzky. And that's, don't go where the puck is, go where the puck is going. So now, in real life, don't go where the trend is, go where the trend is heading. Now, you can't always fucking guess that, but you can create your own path. There's all kinds of different things you can do. And that's where I feel like the problem is that one thing started to work for one person. Amazon, for instance. The world changed when Amazon became Amazon, I feel like. Because, and Netflix too, when Netflix went from full streaming and took out the delivery, because we stopped needing, or we stopped having to wait for things. We started getting everything right away, pronto, on demand.
Like
so then what? So then
camera break.
People just keep doing. Fucking nuts.
Hold your horse. We're back.
But anyways, yeah. So, what was I talking about? Sports. Yeah.
Future.
Yeah, it's just crazy the future of it. I really think I started going on another tangent. But
was it an esport tangent?
Esport?
Yeah, like electronic sport.
No.
Video games.
No. Oh no, we weren't talking about. We're at past sports. No, I was saying with like content in general, as I think that's where the shift happened, was just because it's like, all right, we got to just keep putting out so much. It's a volume-based world now instead of, and I'm not even just saying necessarily content, because we've already talked about that, and we're not going to talk about that every fucking episode. But even products in general, iPhone's business model,
yeah,
or Apple's business model, I mean, Samsung, and it just become this world of like, okay, I'm going to put something out, and then your competitor puts something out, and then it's like they out, and it's just watered down versions of the same thing, essentially. Because no one's actually sitting to take the time and go, all right, hold up. Let's look at our product.
Yeah, what are we doing?
What's the need? What are the features that are actually going to be useful? Or what's the content I'm going to talk about that's actually going to be useful? Or what's the whatever it is? I feel like it just, people are fucking.
I think a lot of people just have blinders on, you know, and it always kind of just goes back to the fact that, like, you do what you're told by people who you think are more successful than you,
mm-hmm.
and you just want to listen because they made it. And while, like, that's super important to do and to have some insight and some knowledge into what that is, it's still important to realize and understand that, like, that's a specific person at a specific point in time where a specific set of events
they met a
happened
specific
for them.
Person, they had a specific conversation.
Yeah, like any of those variables change and their reality is different. It's the butterfly effect of life. So to try to take and replicate what some successful person's done and do it for yourself, you don't have the same effect just right off the bat because you're a different person.
Yeah, well, I had that realization, and I think I've talked about this on the podcast circa the prologue, but reading books for me was huge, to where I was like, I need to read this book from this guy because he's successful and I'm going to listen to his story. And I was getting so into everyone's story as to how they made it, to where it was like, that's what I was trying to use. So I was trying to follow the footsteps of all of these people. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Now this person started to contradict this person, but this person's in a way different industry of what I'm trying to do. And then this person, so then you just get spiraling out of control.
Start getting confused.
Yeah. And then it's just like, why not just take a topic, for instance, if say you want to get really good at marketing or digital marketing, for instance, or even just, digital marketing, pick up a book on marketing, digital marketing, and then the topics, and then see what you can do with that from there. Almost. I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to do it, but I had that same thing to where it's like, you're so focused on what other people are doing.
Well, the problem with doing that, and what I think, is that the people who did it before you weren't thinking in terms of you and your ass looking up to them later. You know what I mean? Like when these people all, like, here's the other thing too, that when these people were making it to become successful, they were making it for themselves to be successful. They were making it for what they had a reason for doing whatever they did that wasn't to just be able to share it with up and coming people. The people who do it just for that, I don't think that there's enough juice in that as far as ambition goes and motivation to do what it takes to really be successful just so that you can pass it down. Yeah. Like there's got to be other motives that go into becoming successful. And so understand that when you're listening to these stories, like that person was just trying to not sleep in their car anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You're not in that situation. You just have a shitty job that you don't like. That person was fucking homeless in their car. So you can't all of a sudden go get that sales job at the same company that Mark Cuban got when he was living at out of his friend's apartment.
Yeah, on the couch.
Yeah, like that whole story. You know, these stories are good because it helps you develop an idea for you to write your own story.
Yeah. That gives you almost a template too. That
exactly.
And that's where I started to realize it too, and we're still going through it with this, like especially the most is that startup. Is everyone's talking about a startup, and in a lot of ways that's what this is, just a startup, you know?
Yeah.
And it takes years sometimes, you know, for startups to start popping, and to hear these guys tell their stories, how they dealt with it and some of the struggles that they had and all of that, it's super helpful and valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not anti the books either, especially when they're talking about them, because I've read a shit ton of them.
I just think it's important to realize and understand that you can't just do that.
Yeah, I'm more so saying it's really important, not to be corny, but I think it's really important to actually just believe in yourself. If I actually do have any advice, and I don't know if it works for me, but I know that anytime I do have that, that happened, it's only when I'm like believing in myself and I know I can do it for sure. I have that belief, do it.
Well, we're also individualized, you know, and so like we have these, I think that like ultimately we should all have our own routines, our own ways of doing things, our own like just our
self-optimization.
Exactly. Like our own morning routine. You know, I don't need to read a book to hear what another guy's successful morning routine is so that I can replicate it for myself. I want to figure out what is my best morning routine for my day as Justin Weber.
Yeah, well, we don't think about that too, because like think about a car, for instance. Like if you're gonna tune a car before a drag race, are you gonna tune it just like your competitors?
No, you're gonna
tune this, you're gonna
or lose.
Yeah, or
depending on
lose.
how heavy your car is.
Yeah, so you're gonna go, okay, well, I need to tune this thing better for my car.
Dude, look at us talking about drag racing.
Dude, we talk about everything. We're bringing
Porn,
drag racing.
We're talking about smut this week, guys.
Talking about smut, dude. Just this is man's episode. We're talking about drag racing, porn, and we got a new beef jerky dehydrator. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why that's what I thought of first. I'm not a hunter is the thing, so.
Well, that's weird because I got you a gun rack for Christmas.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, that's the wrong answer.
I don't think he'll like that.
Why?
Are you sure? I don't want a gun rack. I don't have guns. Except for unless you get a rack for thunder and lightning. That's left and right. Hardest hitting 145 in the division right here.
Not a Wayne's World guy, huh?
I haven't seen not in years actually. I have not seen it since I was very young.
Okay.
We'll you know what? It. You know what? It was another one of those movies. When I was young, for whatever reason, guys that seemed like they were trying too hard to be funny, I didn't fuck with. And that's what it seemed like. Like Beavis and Butthead and Wayne's World was really young. It seemed like they were trying too hard to be funny.
I mean,
I don't know now.
They were literally just trying to.
Dude, I know. And people could be saying that about me right fucking now. Or as they watch an episode, like that guy tries way too hard to be funny. And they don't like me. And I get that because I've also been that person.
It wasn't even about being funny, though. It was just about passing on knowledge of rock and roll.
Dude, I was not that smart at the time I watched. I was like 6 when I saw it.
It was just it's like School of Rock, dude.
Dude, but I at least was a little older when I saw School of Rock. I saw School of Rock multiple times. Dude, when did Wayne's World come out?
95?
There you go. There you go. When did School of Rock come out?
Don't know. You're the encyclopedia.
2004.
Huh?
2003 or 2004? Bet.
Pick one.
I'm giving you the 03, 2004. Like, that's how they do it in school. And that's how they do it in seasons. So.
It was 2003.
Okay, so I was right.
Wayne's World.
That probably came out in 94 or 93.
Wayne's World, Party Time came out in 92.
Oh, fuck. Okay. So.
And they turned around and did Wayne's World 2 in 93. I didn't know they did Wayne's World 2 in 93.
So before
we
all pin me to be a piece of shit, I'm actually very cultured. And that's just, school. Don't compare that in School of Rock.
I'm just saying it's not about trying to be funny. It's about passing on knowledge.
Sure. I don't even remember the plot of the movie, dude. I just remember
of Wayne's World.
Yeah, hardcore party on, and then they're just shaking there, and they got the fucking wigs on. I didn't like wigs either.
You know why, dude? Maybe you don't like them is because they're a lot like us. There was a dark haired guy, a blonde haired guy. They had a radio show, and they were just talking.
Could be.
So, and I mean,
some jealousy.
Could be jealousy, yeah, because they had real success in the 90s. So.
We did not have any success in the 90s, so
I had some. I was born. You were born. So we had a little bit of success.
Did I start getting into music videos yet? No, I didn't start getting music videos yet, I don't think. I don't know anything about it. I was so zonked out in the 90s, dude. I don't remember shit. You know how many fucking strawberries and
zonked out?
How many strawberries I ate in the 90s, dude? Do you know how much grape juice I drank in the 90s, bro? I was out.
You're zonked out of your mind on grape juice and fucking
strawberries, man.
Strawberries.
Fruits of the loom is what they call me. Fruit of the loom is what they call me.
Strawberry field forever there.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, dude. Well,
I don't know though. I mean, no disrespect to Wayne's World. Michael Myers is fantastic.
Michael Myers is. I'm
pretty sure he's probably born Michael.
Yeah, but I think he probably doesn't go by that on account of fucking.
That's another movie I haven't
Freddy
seen.
versus Jason is.
I haven't seen that.
Friday the 13th.
Never saw any of those. Movies. I'm the worst with that, dude. I haven't seen
scary
any
movies.
Yeah, really.
I've seen
Scary Movie.
Yeah,
1, 2, and 3.
I've seen 1 through 6, 4, 5. I
Seen
know there's
one-
5. I don't know
seen
if there's
1, 2, and
6.
3, and then I've seen. You know, I used to. I'd count Disturbia and I Am Legend as a horror movie.
Okay, I Am Legend's not, but I'll say that Disturbia is a thriller.
It's a thriller. See, I like thrillers, but I don't like horror movies either because I don't like jumping out stuff. Because man, like, I'm not.
It's not, dude. There's more
got
jumping
me.
out shit in thrillers.
But it's different though. There's like more of a story and a plot, and it's not some like thing that's trying to scare me.
That's not necessarily
It
true,
is,
dude. Because
but-
like horror movies, scary movies are like they're the one. There's always like these paranormal ones or possession ones.
I don't like the possession ones. That's my main thing.
Okay, but they're not trying. That's just like that
I've
shit
seen The
happens.
Purge though. I haven't seen.
That's
I know,
also
but
not
I
a
don't.
scary
But
movie.
that freaks me out though. Like I don't want to come up against someone that's fucking possessed.
Dude, you got the Lord.
I know, dude, but like
You know the Lord's Prayer?
I don't. That's the thing. So like that thing's gonna be running around.
God.
They didn't teach it.
Who's they?
I
in
didn't
the
go
Bible.
to Catholic school.
You don't need to go to Catholic
Dude,
school.
the church that we grew up to, ask them. I talked to Mom about it because we were at a wedding and I didn't know the Lord's Prayer. And I was the only one that didn't say it. And I turned to Mom and I said, why don't I know that? Because we grew up going to church. And she said, they don't teach
I'm
it.
just not that much older than you to where I know I gotta.
Dude,
I
you went to
teach
Catholic school, dog.
I
I
gotta
went to
teach you
public.
Wayne's World and
Dude, no, I've seen Wayne's World. I just didn't. It came out, dude, like,
4 years before you were born. I get it.
okay,
but
boomer.
Don't okay, boomer.
I've seen
me.
Ferris Bueller. I've seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I've seen, dude, you don't need to quiz me on
All
shit,
right,
bro.
Hamilton.
I'll quiz you.
All right. Well,
And then, yeah, so scary movies, no go.
there was one that I saw called Cabin in the Woods.
I heard about that actually.
Yeah, that one was fucking crazy. You know who was in it too? Who's the bad guy? Was the bad guy in Billy Madison. Whenever it's something like that happens too, it makes me take it less seriously. So I find myself easily not able to get scared.
I got a piece of cinema we can talk about.
Huh?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Finally watched it. You saw it on theaters, and then you just got
Kinda,
it.
yeah.
Kind of. And I want to say this.
We kind of saw it.
Phenomenal movie. And
Yeah,
that's the second movie this year that was very long.
that you
That
saw.
I that I
well,
saw.
third because Avengers too. Endgame.
Oh yeah. So that's 3 movies this year.
And
And Spider-Man's was good
Spider-Man's
too. God,
no
it's been a good year for movies.
Spider-Man's no slouch on the time wallet either.
Well, I'll say this is these have been movies like we'll leave it to just the Joker and which you haven't seen yet, but and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I will say this about both movies is that they were long, and I noticed how long they were watching it, but I was so all right with it, and I wanted to keep going when it was over. I'm like, dude, fuck, there's more story to tell, dog.
Yeah,
Tarantino always does that, but
yeah, dude. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of my favorite Tarantino movies, and I don't know how popular that is, but I know that
I know
had
kind of
some.
standing O at Sundance, right, when it first came out or something.
Yeah, I think it was Con. Is it Can or Con? But I think. Oh yeah, it was one of my favorites, and I thought it was a really cool example of the butterfly effect. If you were to stick 2 strangers into existence during that historical time, an event, and it was just it was like I thought the ending was so funny because of like how just these 2 random dudes who don't actually exist, but had they existed could have potentially stopped like some of the worst crimes in American history.
Yeah.
And like it was just
Make me want to go learn about a little bit more of that too. See what's going on with all that Charlie Manson stuff. And
yeah.
definitely want to dive into that a little more now.
But like to these two, they were just summed up as a couple of goddamn hippies.
Exactly.
And like these couple of few goddamn hippies like tore up the entire country basically once these murders happened.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy. And to stay on with the movie, not to get too into that, just because I don't have much to say, because I haven't got into it yet. But with the movie, Tarantino does such a good job. And every single movie, he's so good with foreshadowing and the way he uses cinematography. It connects, I feel like, in such a way because he shows things. You don't know if that has relevance later on in the story or not. So you really have to be paying attention from the minute you see that thing come on till the end. And you literally have to see Tarantino say the end at the end of it. For you to know, because like there's so many things, like all the way from like the dog food to just the smallest things.
Great movie.
Dude, I want to watch. I could forget all about the rest of this and just go watch that.
I want to get we're gonna wrap this up soon because I gotta pee and I'm hungry. And it's late as fuck.
Late. I actually had to turn around twice for this episode because I forgot one of the cameras and then forgot the SD card. So shout out to me on that one. It's been a day, guys. I got to be honest. It's been kind of a day.
Pulled it together, though.
I just woke up kind of feeling, I don't know, like it's weird. I don't want to say it. Do you ever have that? I know people will be like, oh, bipolar people, but like,
I don't know what you.
What I'm about to say is, I know I didn't finish my thought, and I do that sometimes. But sometimes I wake up, like yesterday, for instance. I woke up and I was in a phenomenal mood from the minute I woke up on for the rest of the day. And then today I wake up and I'm like, I'm pissed. Now there's a reason I didn't get up, and I wanted to wake up to go to the gym this morning because we were doing this tonight. We ended up training tonight at Fight Ready, so it's all fine. But like, you know,
late start to all this because of that.
Yeah, but then so you just wake up kind of feeling that funk. Do you feel that just for no reason sometimes, kind of?
Nah.
Huh.
I usually wake up with a pretty blank canvas.
I wish. Sometimes I just wake up and I'm legit in a bad mood. I'm like, dude, I'm not.
It's rarely that I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I got to be triggered by something to get into an irritated mood.
Although like sometimes I like to feel like something triggers it, but like,
are you disagreeing with me, or
no,
are you thinking more on yourself?
No, I'm trying to now add to and think about how I respond in that situation too, because I feel like sometimes I have that.
Yeah, sometimes you definitely are triggered by something and then that sets you off. But like, I don't ever just wake up going, fuck today.
Yeah. Should probably get some help. I mean, I've tried the help. Sometimes I just wake up, dude, and it's just one of those days. Everybody sucks. Just kidding. It's a Limp Bizkit song.
Yeah.
I probably started listening to Limp Bizkit and playing GTA a little too young. That's probably where a lot of this comes from.
Yeah.
So if you have kids, keep them away.
No, don't do that.
I'm big shame. I know I'm fine, but just sometimes I don't know how to describe it, because it's not like bipolar to where like, because I can snap out of it and go like, all right, dude, like I'll be normal, but then like it'll be one thing after another sometimes on these days, especially when you're looking for it. Like if you start out in a bad mood is the thing, is sometimes it'll compound, because I'll see one thing and then I go, oh yeah, and not to fucking mention, that's what's going on in my head. Like after everything, oh great, not to mention.
Great. I just have a lot of ADD with stuff, and I feel like,
not me, I'm a minor.
I feel like it goes back to how I just go about my day as best I can with just doing what I feel like, because I have so much to do that it all needs to get done. So there's really no, like, I don't have, it all needs to get done. So I just do whatever I feel like I can do.
Yeah.
And so, like, my attention span is so focused on that. So anything that goes wrong within the confines of that state, I'm like, fuck this, dude. And that might make me shut down. That might make me go into shutdown mode. But that's what moves me on to my next thing.
And I think that's where that goes with the whole thing I was saying earlier about believing in yourself.
But then I forget, and I'm not like, it's not piling on
but
for
you've
me.
always had that, though. You've always had a good belief in your ability, even if you know nothing about what it is.
Yeah.
For whatever fucking reason, you think you can do it. And that actually makes me mad sometimes. It makes me blood red mad.
Yeah.
But you are able most of the time, yeah.
You're about to say all the time?
No. Most of the time, though. I was about to say some of the time, but most of the time, it works out in your favor. And
yeah, I would say most.
Most of the time it works out in your favor when you do. Yeah. So that's what I was saying, is that usually adds to that. And for me in my life is I think about all the things I have to do. But then I think of like my skill set, say, and all the things that I can do. Just because I have such a broad range of things that I do, and that's where it gets kind of tricky with, like, in terms of actual work and job and whatnot, because I have such a broad range. So it's like I feel like I have to get way better at all these things. So then I get more stressed, because it's like not only do I have to do all these things, but I also got to learn and get better at all these things. Even though you're going to get better, I just feel like I got to be watching shit. I feel like I got to be doing that extra,
Do it then.
I do. But
Okay,
that's where
don't make it a thing.
I'm not making it a thing. I'm just saying it's where I get fucking stressed, because it's a lot.
That's making it a thing.
And that's not sleeping. Well, nah, dude. It happens to be. It's
Sleep
just stress,
is for
dude.
those people who are broke, dude. I don't sleep.
Okay. Yeah, no, you don't, dude. And I wish I couldn't.
It's
actually not. I don't remember who I was watching, but some guy was
50
roasting. No, someone was roasting, not sleeping.
Oh, I wish
some
I
guy's like,
slept
I'm
more.
successful and I sleep a shit ton. Don't listen to these freaks.
Again, dude, everybody is an individual, and you got to find what works for them. Like, if I could sleep more, I would. I don't set my
If
alarm.
I could sleep less, I would.
Yeah, like, I don't set my alarm for 5 o'clock every day. It doesn't matter what time I go to bed, even. Like, I'm waking up somewhere in that range.
Technically,
sometimes I can fall back asleep.
Technically, though, based on sleep studies, that's the best way to be.
Yeah, but
is to wake up the same time every day.
Yeah, and have it be natural. Sure. And I'm blessed to have the ability to have that as my problem more than your problem.
My problem, dude,
your problem sucks.
You would think every morning, if you were responsible to wake me up, I'm not saying just you, because you technically kind of are, if I don't wake up, but anyone, if that was a job on Craigslist, wake Zach up, you would think I was out fucking getting zonked like I was in the 90s again on fucking grape juice and strawberries, man, going nuts. You would think I was doing that, and you would think I was out till 2 a.m., dude, sculling shots, going to the strip club and getting that 2-for-4 ribeye steak
crazy,
that
dude.
they
You're
got at 2
sprawled
a.m.
out and everything.
Sprawled out.
Your alarm's been going off.
I got
for an
barbecue
hour.
sauce in my mouth. I don't know how I got there, because we didn't have barbecue for dinner.
That's
ribeye.
That's pretty much every morning when I wake up.
It's the weirdest thing.
Z wakes up and he's just filmed The Hangover, but but yeah, dude. So I don't necessarily pick it, and it just so happens that is what it is. But like, I could go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, and somewhere in the hour of 5 o'clock, that 5 o'clock slot rolls around, and I'm up sometime. Sometimes I can get back asleep, and those days are
not good.
I'm just so, no, dude, I'm so grateful for those days.
Oh, really?
Fuck yeah, dude, because like our meetings typically don't start until at least 10:30.
That's the thing, yeah.
So I don't really have to be in to the office.
Probably like 9:30.
Yeah.
The latest.
Yeah, but like it doesn't take me that long to get ready, and so like all I do is walk Ari basically and study or play piano or do whatever I do, but it's not like
We all know what you're doing at that time.
if I can
Don't lie.
if I can be sleep Z, I learned fucking how to play Riders on the Storm intro in one day. You know what I'm doing.
It's a lot of number 3 in.
Wait for the rain.
Better with your fingers.
I know I do it better on the piano.
Anyways,
Anyways, dude, can we
it's
be
been a good
done?
cast, yeah, dude. Because we're about due for another camera break, and this has been a good episode. I
How about
hope
a
you all.
fucking
We dropped knowledge
podcast?
on this one, dude. This is a
How
real
about
podcast today.
How about a podcast break so that we can go eat and go to sleep?
Sure, yeah. So I can get up.
Yeah. All right, gang. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to just keep doing what you're doing. If you like what we're up to, let us know, or don't. Just whatever you feel like.
By the way, shout out to all you sneakerheads.
Yeah, shout out to the sneakerheads.
Kick Cam was a hit, so we're gonna keep it up and
keep it up.
Hope y'all enjoy it.
That's the thing. We listen to the awkward animals.
We're people of the people, you know.
We're the people's podcast.
That's
Fuck being number 1, dude. We don't care about any of that anymore. You know.
If you're smell
What the Weber boys are cooking.
Dun,
You got to get way more under it, though, if you're going to do that. If you smell again. Or else I'm going to rock bottom you in front of everyone and hit you with the people's elbow.
Whatever, dude. Let's do our sign off.
Let's do it.
Are you gonna beg for our subscribers or what?
Yeah, if you subscribe, share with a friend, tell a friend, leave us a review on iTunes if you guys are still checking that out, and or any of the platforms for that matter too. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe there. So yeah.
All right, those of you just tuning in, I'm Jay.
I'm Z.
Together we're Jay-Z.
Jin.
Chia. Hove.
It's gonna be awkward.
I don't get it. You do the math.